presidential debate house party.
What do you used to be?
If you were here.
Look, ladies, I want to be clear. If anything in government is going to change, if we're going to protect our hair, our kids, our lives, it starts with a vote. So join Citizen She and 4910 Rosalie Productions to detangle the vote and squad up.
Hey.
Everybody, no more sleeping in bed.
Welcome to the 2020 non-presidential debate house party. I am DJ Nevermind. So happy to be here with you all. Come on in.
Wake up, everybody.
We're gonna have some fun tonight. It's the non-presidential house party. I am DJ Nevermind. Always here to have a good time. Let's go.
What it used to be, there is so much hatred. War.
Right here, what we're gonna do is go back. Come on in, invite somebody, share your screen. I'm DJ Nevermind. Welcome to the 2020 non-presidential debate house party. Hey. Shout out to Citizen She.
I met him when I was a little girl. He was my first.
It's the 15-second house party. You got 15 seconds to play the song. So you got to get your dance move in 15 seconds. Let's go.
Nothing.
Put down your bags, love. I know in the past, love has been sort of hard, but I see the God in you. I just want to nurture it. Though this love may hurt a bit, we dealing with this water, love. You even get my daughter, love.
I just want to get to know you, but don't turn.
Welcome.
Cause that pretty round thing is me.
We're at the 2020 unpresidential, non-presidential debate house party. All of those things. Shout out to you.
A butterfly tattoo right above your navel.
Facebook only gives you like 15 seconds to play the song, man. So we got to work with that. But it's all good. We do not own the rights to this music, Facebook. It's not ours. It's just really good.
It's so thorough and real. Like a flower fully blooming summer. You're ready to be watered by this conversation. I wanna know if you got a man. I wanna know everything. I wanna know your number and if I can come over, and I wanna know what you like. I wanna know so I can do it all night. Hey, but you're telling me I'm just a friend. You're telling me I'm just
What you tell him?
Oh baby, you got what I need.
Hey.
But you say I'm just a friend. But you say I'm just a friend. Cause I can be yours. But you say I'm just a friend. Say I'm just a friend. Yeah.
Oh, is that Canyon again?
Hey.
Later, got me thinking, babe. Tell me if you really got some with it, babe. I haven't heard from you and I'm in it, babe. Just tell me what to do and I get it, babe. Gucci and Prada.
Want no smoke with me? Been turn this motherfucker up 800 degrees. Whole team eat chefs cause she's a treat. Oh, she's so bougie, on appetite. I'm a savage, attitude nasty. Talk big shit, but my bank account match it. Hood, but I'm cool.
You got to get your 15-second dance move in. That's right. Hey, What you tell her?
Yeah, I beat my face. Moving fast cause the Uber on the way. Taking pictures, make sure you can see no.
Hey, here we go.
That we secure like the money in us.
5, 4, 3, 2. Hey. 15 seconds to live your life like it's golden. Come on. Hey, yeah. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Hey. Hey. What's up? Putting it on my chain, We got 15 seconds to play some oldies but goodies. Come on in. If you haven't already, shared your screen. Let somebody know. Invite somebody to the party. I'm DJ Nevermind. Shout out to Citizen She. Let's go.
This life can make me so confused, but it's alright.
It's alright.
Living day by day, I feel so used. That ain't right. I just wanna run and hide, but I don't have the time to cry. And it's alright. It's alright. It's alright. Alright.
Yeah.
Shout out to Citizen She.
Yeah.
Shout out to you for being here. Shout out to you for being registered to vote. We got a trailer coming up for you. Hey, if you shining, like this video. I got some folks behind the scenes. They're gonna play a video from Target St. Louis, Volume 1. It's a trailer just for you. Go ahead and turn your attention to the screen. Once again, shout out to Target St. Louis Volume 1. Follow them on all streaming platforms at Target St. Louis Volume 1. Yes, sir. Enjoy this trailer. And make sure you check out the documentary. Shout out to Target St. Louis Volume 1. Let's go.
This next story is so unbelievable, we didn't think it could possibly be true.
Our I-team has learned the United States military conducted secret tests on thousands of people in St. Louis.
10,000 low-income people, and according to research that will go public today, this is where most of the testing happened back in the 50s and 60s. People living at the complex unknowingly inhaled this compound morning, noon, night, so the government could measure its effects on their lungs.
And it was for a purpose. In 1953, Congress indemnified private contractors who were connected to humane subject studies.
A black man from down south who's only go to certain locations.
There was some strange going on. We had no idea what it was, other than the fact that we were told at some point in time that it was spraying for insects, mosquitoes, and things like that.
Comes as a great shock to discover that Gary Cooper killing off the Indians when you were rooting for Gary Cooper, that the Indians were you.
Once again, shout out. Y'all make sure y'all go check out that documentary when it comes out. Make sure y'all follow them on social media. But welcome back to the non-debate house party. Hey, I'm DJ Nevermind. We're gonna have some fun. Make sure you invite somebody to the party.
I got my cup up to the heavens.
And get you something to drink, because y'all know we're gonna get our little drink on a Thursday. Hey.
Kind of feeling unforgettable. Promise this my move forever. Promise this my move forever. Forever and ever.
Gonna get this thing started in 5 minutes. We got 5 more minutes. That's 5 more minutes for you to invite somebody to a party. Invite your mama now. I know you got something to drink in the back of the refrigerator, in the top of the cabinet. Hey, under the bed. Hey. Born like this, immaculate conception. I transform like this, perform like this. Was Yoshi a new weapon? I don't contemplate, I meditate. Then off your fucking head. This that puts against the bed. This that.
Yeah, I can do anything. Yeah, hell no.
Make sure you're registered to vote.
I can do anything.
Your voice matters. All 15 of my seconds matter. And if you've been with us, you know I only got 15 seconds to create a vibe. So you better catch this vibe in 15 seconds.
I can do anything.
Hey, shout out to all the people that went to work today. Shout out to all the people that's getting paid. And even if you was at home working from home, that's cool too. Hey.
When you walk a line, I'm in the cafe,
what do you do?
drive me a dessert.
No time to have them lurking. Send them to the block party if they lurking. It's all good. Shout out to Citizen She. Shout out to you for joining us tonight. I'm DJ Nevermind.
I've been moving calm, don't start no trouble.
Don't start no trouble with me.
Trying to keep it peaceful is a struggle.
Hey.
Don't pull up at 6 a.m. to cuddle with me. You know how I like it when you loving on me.
Hola.
Hey, shout out to the ladies coming on in the room. Shout out to the fellas if you here too. It's cool. What she do?
She telling me this and telling me that. You say once you take me with you, I never go back.
Come on.
Now I got a lesson that I wanna teach.
I'ma show you that where you from don't matter to me.
She said, hola, come on, sir.
Hey.
She said, konnichiwa.
Hey.
She said, pardon my French.
Hey.
She said, bonjour, my da. Then she said, sabate.
Come on in. You're never too late. We're starting the show in 3 minutes.
You know I love them.
I knew God was with me. I always used to pray.
Come on in. Come on in.
Ask God not to let the devil kill me out here while I was in the street.
Welcome to the non-debate house party.
One more chance.
Shout out to Citizen She.
I promise.
Shout out to you for being registered to vote, for being informed.
We're gonna have a little church up in
Hey.
Waking up.
Come on.
Thanking God.
If you blessed,
every day is feeling
that's
just
something to smile about.
Sunday.
You woke up today. Something to smile about. Hey.
Green light,
come on.
Everything is going my way. Riding clean.
Hey.
Living dreams.
Let's do this one for the young folks.
I'm feeling like Midas. Heard him say, give him praise.
No, waist fat, baby, tap in.
Come on.
Tap in.
Call somebody and tell them to tap in. Tap into the vote.
Tap in. Getting money.
Tap into getting registered. Tap into being informed. Let's go.
MLB, icy game, better tap in.
Hey, come on. Tell them that my
wrist on glitter,
and my
waist on thinner.
And
I'ma show you how to bag a
15 seconds, 15 seconds, young folk.
Pockets on jigger. You better get the card and make it swipe like.
Hey. It's a 15-second song house party. It's okay.
They know how I'm coming with bitch in the flesh.
Hey, shout out to Cardi B. She's out here getting informed as well.
But blood on her dress. Bitches be mad when they see Cardi step in the spot. Said that you bought it, we know that you're not. I'ma pull up on bitches as soon as I
Hey.
My life I has to
Welcome. I see you coming on in.
My life,
shout out to you. Shout out to Citizen She.
Bad chips like Nazareth.
Shout out to me for playing 15 seconds of a song. And we gonna be all right.
Nigga, we gon' be all right.
We got another video coming your way very shortly. Hey.
We gon' be alright. Huh? We gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright. Do you hear me? Do you feel me? We gon' be alright.
We're gonna be alright with these 15 seconds, you heard me? Shout out to New Orleans. Hey, shout out to the city of love.
Back home smoking legal.
Hey, come on.
I got more slaps than the Beatles. Foreign shit running on diesel, dog. Playing with my name, that shit is lethal, dog. Who see what? Don Corleone. Trust me, at the top it isn't lonely.
It isn't lonely. Let's go.
Everybody acting
5
like
seconds.
they know me, dog. Don't just say it, 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 don't just say it.
Right. My AI just changed. It just buzzed the front gate. I thank God.
Come on in.
How many more days could I wait?
We got a video coming your way in just a second. Thank you for joining us tonight. Happy Thursday. Hope you got a smile on your face because you're breathing.
I think I lie for you.
Hey.
I think I die for you.
I tell her.
Jodeci cry for you. Do things when you want me to. Like controller. Controller.
I know Doja Cat says some things, but she makes really good music. You know, we gotta forgive. Let's go.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey,
How are
DJ.
you?
Good. I'm so good to see your beautiful face again.
Good to see you as well. You look lovely tonight.
I'm
Uh-oh, you're frozen.
Today is going to be Tech Thursday because apparently all the tech things decide to be like, we did the run through, we did all the things, and Tech was like, I'm good. Let me show y'all. Tech was
Tech was like, hold my beer.
Every time. Every single time. Jamie, so good to see you. Y'all, this is Jamie from Black Girl Nerds, right? Now, I will say, I think I'm a Black Girl Nerd. You know, I liken myself to Black Girl Nerd. So I feel like I am with friends and family every time I hear your name and see your face.
Aww.
Jamie, can you tell everybody what Black Girl Nerds are? Like, what is that? What did you invent and create, Jamie?
Oh, I didn't invent anything. Listen, we've always been around. We've always been here. I simply just shed a light on a community that has existed for eons and eons. And it's just really so cool and so great that everybody is waving their geek flag as high as they possibly can and just owning their eccentricities and self-identifying as geeks and nerds. So, that's what Black Girl Nerds, the website, is all about. We're a pop culture site. We feature things that are happening in entertainment, from movies, television, comics, gaming, all of that fun stuff. But yeah, it's just been a great journey to be a part of, geeking out and doing it for a living. Yeah.
I love it. I love geeking out. I will also personally invite you to New Orleans, Jamie, whenever the world opens back up and we can have Mardi Gras again. Because
I would love to come back. I went for the very first time last year in February, and it was my first time in New Orleans. It was for the set visit for Queen and Slim.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So even better than that, if it can, it's better than that. We have a nerd parade. Parade, Jimmy, and it is called Chewbacca's. And there's a group of us Black women that get together. We are the women of Wakanda, and we build contraptions.
Yes.
And we walk around in full Wakanda gear. Women of Wakanda, you've got to come. You'll nerd out.
I'm there.
And it's good. You'll eat too.
Yeah, I mean, obviously COVID-free, but yes, once that's resolved, I'm totally there. Yeah.
There we go. I love it. So Jamie, we kind of have a dope program for people, I think. I'm excited.
I'm excited too. This is going to be a fun, entertaining, fun-filled few hours of information and infotainment.
Information and info. You know what? Okay, I'm stealing that word. Can I steal it?
Sure. I think I stole it from somebody else. So yeah,
it's always
paying it forward.
There we go. So we have we have a video that we play. We got made just kind of it's got my girl Fannie Lou Hamer, and it's got Citizen She rally song. So I want to make sure that, and it was also a gift of a love for Black women. So I want to see if we can go ahead and get that video up one more again, because I want everyone to feel all the goodness. There's also dope goodness we found, and also we're having drinks and all kind of stuff going on. So I just want to make sure that Black women are loving this all thing, and I'm having to do multitask, Jamie. This is what we do. This is what we do.
This is what we do. This is how we do it. This is how we do. Now let me not start singing.
We're singing just
and we can work together in this country, and to have a democracy, that's what we're going to have to do.
You are the fire, ignite and unite. Together we will win the fight. Rise up and inspire with your natural fire. Together we will win the fight. Dear Black woman.
Yes.
Yes.
Jamie, so we do this thing every Thursday called Love Letters to Black Women. One of the lovely Black women that wrote a letter donated those words and those lyrics to us to make that song. So this is Love Letter to Black women writing music, inspiring Black women so we can all show up and show this country that y'all may not want us here, but boo, we here.
Oh, we're here.
We're here.
And we're taking over the polls, and we are going to represent on Election Day. So
yes, we are. Yes. It's gonna happen. It's gonna, because I'm meeting mass made and say, "Oh, we got time today." So we got time today.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to bring up a friend of ours that we had at the last debate watch party. We can't. We gotta have drinks, Jamie. We can't be parched as we get ready to go to the poll.
You know me.
And so people want my time. And so I'm going to bring up our dear friend, Justini. Justini.
Hey.
Hey, Justini.
Y'all ready to drink?
What?
Yes.
No, I'm not ready to drink.
I've actually started, so,
That's fine. That's fine. I think we started too, so we're good.
I'm ready to drink, Justini.
Yeah. Drink. When we handle business, we drink. Okay?
Yes.
Now, Justini, before you get started, I do want to give everyone just an idea of Justini Cocktails. I talk about the Black girl magic that is Justini Cocktails. I was a fan of hers way before there was, like, I saw her face. I just knew I was drinking good and it was by a Black woman. That's all I need to know. So Justini, can you give us a little history of who you are and like how you came to be and why we about to drink these Smash the Vote cocktails from Justini?
Yes. Okay. So I'm Jessica. In this city, Jamie, like everybody goes by whatever they call you. So now everybody in the city calls me Justini, but my real name is Jessica.
I thought that was your real name. I was like, that's brilliant. Like,
no, so we call what we call you in this city of New Orleans.
That's
so
right.
I am a mixologist, bartender, whatever you like to call it, but I have about 15 years of experience from before I was supposed to drink until I started actually bartending when I was in college. And so Justini came about because I wanted to merge my love of women and my love of drinking together as one. And so I feel like when women have a little drink in them, they're able to connect better, they're able to speak up, say what's on their mind. And so that's kind of how the brand got started. So basically I do weddings, well, pre-pandemic. I did weddings, dinner parties, things like that. Anywhere in the city where you need a drink, you will see Justini.
Okay. Drink. I'm just saying, all the time, Justini. I got your Cash App, and I'm just gonna just keep sending stuff so I can keep getting you on.
Go ahead, because that is how we live.
That's how we live. Yes.
Just the real behind that. So
it is. And I got my bar set up too.
You ready? Oh, perfect.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Look at you.
I love those who's passionate about their drink and their bar cart at their house. So Nia, you got it.
I'm a true Orleanian. Thank you very much.
Good point. Drinking is very important. So y'all ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. So tonight we're going to do the Smash the Vote cocktail. Okay. And so I'm going to start out with some mint. I'm just going to put it in my shaker. I'm going to do a half an ounce of simple syrup.
Oh, wait, I got to get my simple syrup.
And 2 ounces of bourbon.
So what does simple syrup actually do to a drink, Justini?
Simple syrup makes your drink sweeter. So basically, it's just a liquid form of sugar.
Got it.
So if you don't have the actual simple syrup, all you need is hot water and sugar, mix it together, and you got simple syrup.
Got it. So great for my diabetic self. I'm just gonna put that out.
That's how I like my drinks. I like them really sweet.
I like them sweet.
Yeah, me too. I like it to sneak up on me, you know?
Yeah.
I like to be like, oh, wait, did I feel that? Yes, I did. Okay, so what's next? Wait. I fill up the simple syrup, Justini.
Yeah, half an ounce. And then you need 2 ounces of your favorite whiskey or bourbon.
Got it.
Okay.
Oh, that's not.
So that kind of balances out because that's a very dry.
Yes. Yes, very.
Balances
and
it out.
So 3 squeezes of lemon.
Okay. So it's gonna be
I wasn't prepared. I didn't open my bourbon. You know why? Because I drank the last bottle and had to go run and get another bottle for tonight. I'm sorry.
You're about right, you know.
Confessions from a Black woman.
Right?
Okay, wait, the lemon and then what, Justini?
3 squeezes of lemon, ice in your shaker, and then you're gonna shake. Shake. Okay. You're gonna use the rock glass. Gonna pour that in like that with your mint.
This looks really refreshing.
Right?
So refreshing. Especially with the bourbon and the lemon.
Yeah.
Mint. With the lemon and then your mint.
Nice.
Got it. And then we go smash the vote with this.
And we're gonna smash the vote.
I love it.
Mash it.
Well, speaking of smashing the vote, I am really lucky that on my team, I have this incredible woman, Lauren Turner. And Lauren is not only like my director of the Road to 300,000, she's also a theater performer, director, and she owns a Black woman-owned theater company, No Dream to She is currently in rehearsal for their new play, Cadillac Crew, which is about Black women voting, civic engagement, and the history. And so guess who's going to join us right now to talk about it is Lauren and the Black women that are in her play. Lauren, can y'all come up here with the Cadillac crew? Hey. I love it. I love the mask too. Y'all look so incredible. Welcome. Y'all tell us about Cadillac crew, because y'all been working hard, and I know Lauren. I see what she put on, and she ain't no joke as a director, so I'm clear y'all working hard. But tell us all about Cadillac Crew.
So Cadillac Crew is a play about these 4 women that go on a journey to gain writing votes and to have their voices heard, because it talks about how during the Civil Rights Movement, women weren't really acknowledged. Black women. Obviously. We all know white women had the right to vote before men. Right. Black women. And so Black women were taking the backseat during all of everything that was happening, even though they were putting efforts forward, they were never getting acknowledged. And so these women get fed up and they decide to go on this journey throughout the South and give speeches and meet people and encourage people to integrate and hopefully get their voices out there and the right to vote. And then it flash forwards to the Black Lives Matter movement. Those women, they started that movement. They didn't necessarily get their recognition.
That's so dope. That's so dope. And how long have y'all been practicing and rehearsing? I'm sorry, I'm using wrong terminology. How long have y'all been rehearsing?
Probably a month now. We're just now.
Yeah, how do y'all feel playing those characters in history, given the time that we're in today?
I think it's very hard, really. Because we have all these like silent women, all these voices that were not heard, just to be able to tell the story and put the story on how to be able to see. It's a blessing.
Yeah. Yeah.
How long is the show running for?
So the show opens November the 12th through the 21st. We have limited seating for live, but we will be streaming. We will be streaming this performance, so everyone's going to see the show.
Nice.
You know what, Nia? This is why we show up at the polls for these babies right here.
That's right.
Women.
That's right.
This is
That's
why
right. Mm-hmm. That's right, Lauren.
We are so sorry. We will be using our theater voice. Are we frozen? Are we frozen?
No. Nia's frozen.
Nia's frozen.
We just need you guys to speak up a little bit because of the mask, so it's kind of muffling your voices a little bit. So.
Okay. Yeah. I will say though that I'm gonna make a smash the vote cocktail. I'm gonna call my friend Jamie and we gonna watch y'all play via stream. Yes. I love it. Well, tell me, Lauren, like you've been running No Dream Deferred for how long?
We are officially 3 years old.
3 years old. And tell us about, because I went to your first play in the Red and Brown Water. Jamie, Justini, have y'all ever seen a version of Red and Brown Water?
No.
Y'all missed some of that production. Let me
Is it available for streaming?
Okay. Can we see your brilliance at some point? Streamed?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Actually, we will be having a No Dream Deferred is having a stream performance where we invited Black women actors here in Louisiana and New Orleans to tell their stories and share monologues that resonate with them. It's called One Woman, One Show, an ode to Brianna. And it's an opportunity for all of us to show up and be real and honest as Black women about our emotional realities.
Oh, I love that.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm about this group right here.
I'm so excited about that, Lauren. You know, there was, some people, on this call may have been in that production. I don't know.
You want to tell us something?
I love it. Well, I know you girls, you ladies have to like get to rehearsal. I know Lauren let me know you cutting in my rehearsal time. So I am here. And I know y'all don't have drinks, but I do want to do a toast to you guys and to other Black women. So if you could raise our glasses. This toast.
They're acting. They're doing a great job, by the way. Excellent work.
You got to have a little pinky out, so you know pinky drinks because it's fancy, you know. You always hold up the pinky, okay? Yeah, I love it. So this toast is to newness and Black girl magic.
Yes.
Like Belle and her sisters with their afros and locks, sprinkling Oshun-inspired pixie dust over our lives. May we all clap our hands when a sister needs to fly and keep Hook, Wendy, and John out our motherfucking sky.
Yes.
Beyond our most ostentatious thought, and may we keep one another close to our hearts. Life and love and light. Yes, sis, your life and vote do matter. Cheers.
Yes.
Cheers. Cadillac crew, Lauren, thank you guys so much for being here. Love you guys. Can't wait to see it. I'll have my Smash a Vote cocktail and see y'all when y'all do your show.
Thank you.
Bye. I love that. I love that.
That was amazing.
That was amazing. And like, you know, it's really, one thing I love about No Drink Deferred is it's a Black woman-owned theater company that only does Black stories and Black shows, right? And very intentionally. And so because she, you know, Lauren is my chick, you know, and so I know how her mind works. And so it just kind of, you know, it kind of flows. Jamie, do you have, like, you know, you do movies and all that, do you have a theater background?
I was actually a thespian in high school. Thespian Troop 1625 represent. All right. So yeah, I was in the drama club, did a few plays in high school. Didn't pursue it, you know, seriously after that, but you know, I dabbled back in the day.
I love it. So I was a member of International Thespians myself. And we did like a couple of plays. One play, I was like the lead comedian. I found out very quickly that I am not funny. Like I was like, terrible. Like they kept like Nia, you're pretty, you suck. I'm like, okay, got it. This is not my world. I'll go ahead and just be dramatic in my life and other Justini, thank you so much. We are going to continue to smash the vote. We're going to continue every time.
I know where to go next time in New Orleans.
Yes.
Let me tell you, Jamie, we are going to have a good time next time you come when you do come.
Yes.
Let me know.
Awesome. Thank you, Justini.
All right, y'all have a good night. Thanks.
Yeah, you too. I love it. So super excited about all the things. I will say it is time for us to kind of, you know, we're moving quick. So, you know, we're getting things done, but I do want like to have a little bit of a dance break. But we are kicked off Facebook, Jamie. We're off Facebook.
What's going on with Facebook?
They kicked us off. Because the music was longer. So we are now, and, we're on we're in YouTube world. So we're gonna do a little bit of a dance break. I'm gonna get on, make sure everybody knows to come on our YouTube channel. That's all we gotta do. So we'll move more people over here. So we'll do a little bit of dance break, and then we'll come back with some more of the show. So Nevermind, you still here? Where you at, Nevermind?
There we go. Mic check. There we go.
All right.
Hey, Facebook kicked us off, man. Facebook sucks.
Man.
But it's all good.
It's all right. We are going to get right back to it. So can we do like a 5-minute, 15-second dance break just so we can, you know, get loose?
5-minute, 15-second. All right, I heard this one. While y'all were talking.
This is how we do
15 seconds. We can do it. Let's go. Hey, we got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Hey, you got 15 seconds, never mind. That means you can't take your time. Hey, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, this is my favorite right here.
Yeah.
Hey, come on. If you know this one, like this video. Shout out to Citizen She. Let's go. Hey, you got 15 seconds. Hey, you got 15 seconds, never mind. So that means you can't take your time. Hey. I hope you're having a good time. Make sure you're registered to vote. Shout out to you for being here, getting informed.
Yeah, Spider-Man and Freeze in full effect.
15-second dance party. Let's go.
You ready, Jill?
I'm ready, Slick. Are you?
Oh yeah, take it down. Girl, I must.
Let's go.
Long overdue. Now I'm feeling
5 seconds. 4, 3, 2. Let's go. Blow the whistle. Shout out to Too Short. Hey.
I go on
and I can't understand
how I last so long. I must have superpowers. Rap 225,000 hours.
I just want you to know that you're beautiful. No one told you that. You are beautiful. And you should smile. Hey.
Oh yeah, there's something about you. Beautiful. I just want you to know you're my favorite girl. Oh yeah, there's something about you. Beautiful.
Jake.
I just want you to know you're my favorite girl.
Shake that thing, miss. Can I shake that thing, miss?
Got 15 seconds to shake that thing. Let's go.
Donna, Jody and Rebecca. Woman, get busy. Just shake that booty non-stop.
Dance
when
with
the
me,
beat
come on.
drop, just keep swinging
better
and get jiggy. Get drunk up, percolate anything you want to call it oscillate.
This is
If I don't take busy, want to see you get
So,
loud
you know,
on the rhythm
whatever.
of a ride. And my
Let's do it.
lyrics up about electricity. Girl, nobody can do you nothing because you don't know your destiny. Yo, sexy lady.
Well, guess what, Mark Zuckerberg, if that's who really owns Facebook.
Boy, you should know
that. 15 seconds.
I've got you on my mind. Secret admirer. I've been watching you.
Come on. Yeah.
What a party it is right here at the debate, non-debate house party with DJ Nevermind. Hey, come on in. Make sure you share your screen, invite somebody, because what's a party without friends, right?
Don't be tripping when you see us in the club. Just show a little love, represent your side like me. Round here, if you stick it, put your hot one. My shot, put a couple of them down one. Belvedere in the rear of the club, pulled up on dubs, and we about to go and buy the bar up. So for sure we ain't playing, hang with no lames. Talking.
15 seconds.
what, say what, say what.
Hey. Donnell Jones.
Say what. Yeah. Left Eye. Donnell Jones. Say what, say what, say what. Ooh, you know what's up.
Yes. Jamie, it's a Black Girl Party.
Hey, we're gonna work with these 15. Come on.
Yes. All these Black girls in the house. I see you. DJ Dynamite.
What's up? What's up? Hold on, you know I only got 15 seconds to you now. I gotta concentrate.
I'm loving these throwbacks.
What you say? Hey.
You ever watch the Black Girl Sketch Show, DJ?
I don't think so. But don't make me think about it. But
Black Girl Sketch Show?
Hold on.
Okay, I'm about to introduce you to Black Girl Sketch Show.
Okay, introduce me.
I'm about to Black Lady Sketch Show is my joint.
Yes.
So y'all know. I watched that. Thank you, Issa Rae. And as the lawyer in me, you know, I walk in the courtrooms, there's a bunch of white boys in there. And so, you know, there's moments that I want to be a Black lady courtroom, right? And so I can't do civic engagement without talking about a Black lady courtroom, right? So I just want to set our next section, you know what I'm saying, up the right way. So we gonna do a little Black lady sketch show. We're gonna bring up a little Black lady courtroom. DJ Nehemiah, you gonna love this.
Wow, Black girl magic for real, right? I know. Well, good morning. God is good all the time. Amen. Apologies for my tardiness, Your Honor. My client was stuck in a revolving door. What in the baby hair? It's a Black lady courtroom. Black lady courtroom. Black lady courtroom. Black lady courtroom. Black lady. Yeah, y'all shouldn't be dancing. I have been sitting in this courtroom for 20 years, and I have never seen, I'm sorry, Your Honor, melanin this popping. Cicely Tyson will be very proud. Why was she very proud of that? All right. I'd like to call this evidentiary hearing to order in the civil matter of Trina's Vintage Furniture versus Sweet Song Restaurant. First order of business. Do you queens want to get lunch after this? I would like to submit to the court that Your Honor is welcome to dine in Sweet Song anytime. Objection, Your Honor. Dining at defendant's restaurant would be prejudicial. You're right. But if you do go, plaintiff's counsel likes to eat too. Sustain. Excuse me. This isn't professional. Trina, let me handle this. Okay? I got it. I got you. Unfortunately, my clients weren't able to attend this hearing, but I'm sure they would appreciate it if we took some time to find out how my girl over there got her goddess lot so right. See you. I'm suing your clients, and I still feel the need to tell you that they would not appreciate that. Why would you say that? That doesn't help your case. Because they wouldn't. Counselors, approach the bench. See. Thank you, Judge. Get them together, please. Ma'am. Hush. Hold on. You guys can approach too. You go too. She needs to. Why did y'all go to law school? Oh, USC. I knew you looked familiar. What y'all talking about? Well, I'm going to USC undergrad. How any of you agree? AKA First and Finest. Oh, wow. Hey, so what y'all talking about? Black girl magic, man. Okay, look. Right. This photo. And now y'all taking this over. Oh, put that Balenciaga filter on, girl. We lit. We lit. We so lit. Good sidebar, ladies. You know, can you airdrop that to me? All right. God bless y'all. Your Honor, my client, who clearly does not understand the historicness of this moment, recently reupholstered several high-end chairs for the defense and was not paid for her work. No disrespect to my sister-in-law, Get it? That's cute. But the plaintiff never actually completed the work in question. If it pleases the court, I'd like to consult Exhibit B. Take your time. In fact, you'll see there are no chairs, and if there's no place to sit, you must acquit.
That's a solid Congress.
All right. Okay. But as you can see from my supplemental Exhibit G, my client clearly posted time-stamped photos of the chairs on Instagram. Defense counsel clearly just removed them from her pic. You tried it, sis. You're right. I'm a fool for that one. All right. The defense photos are deemed inadmissible, and I hereby deem this courtroom ready to key. Black lady courtroom. Black lady courtroom. Black lady courtroom. Black lady courtroom. Okay, I don't understand. Does this mean that it's just over? Yeah, and you won. Oh, what? Oh, shit. Thank you, Judge. Okay, also thank you, me. Black lady courtroom. Black lady courtroom. Black lady courtroom. Black lady courtroom.
Ladies! Anybody got any comments? They don't have any over at the white man's courtroom.
Well, you know, I just happen to have some in my bra boo. Help yourself. Black lady courtroom. Black lady courtroom. Black lady courtroom.
Yes. That is my show. I love that, Issa Rae. Thank you for that brilliance. I tell you, I love a Black lady courtroom.
Yes, that is so real. Issa Rae is a mood.
I've seen that. I have seen that. I had never seen that skit, but that was hilarious.
Yes, I love it. I love it. All right, DJ, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you take a little break. You know, take a little sip of something. You know,
I'm gonna practice my 15 seconds.
Just it. And then we're gonna bring you back for the after party.
See y'all later.
Thank you. Sending love. Hi, Jamie. All right, now it's time for us to have a little bit of fun. You know, there's a world that Jamie
more
lives
fun on top of the fun we're already having.
Yes, it is a Black girl magic moment. That's what we're having. It's all Black girl. If they're gonna expect us to ride the vote and save this country again, we're gonna have champagne cocktails and unapologetic fun as we get there.
We're gonna have to save this country. We just, you know, that's the way it's gonna have to be. Black women will save this country.
Why do that? Why us? Why us? So we're gonna do some Black girl trivia. So Jamie is an expert in all things movie, theater. I am not. I think I am, but I'm not. Sometimes I think I know things about elections, but all that mess is confusing to me too. Even those of us that do this work, Jamie, we don't know things. There's so much we don't know. So we are going to have a little bit of fun, a little bit of trivia. What you think? You're good with that? You're going to do a little trivia?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
I love it. All right. So let's pull up some trivia. Oh, I'm going to pull up the first. Okay. Here we go. Jamie.
Uh-huh.
What was the first year white women? White women across the United States were allowed to vote. Now, I want to be very specific. I'm talking about the white women. What year was that, Jamie?
Okay, I feel like I need the Jeopardy theme music here while I'm thinking of this answer. 1915?
You know what? You are not too far away, right?
Okay.
So you remember when they did the vote, the women's suffrage march, right?
Yes.
Okay. So the suffrage march was like, you know, when the white women were fighting for their right to vote, right? And you know, it was the 19th Amendment, right? And you would think that all the women's, all the places were be able to celebrate that, right?
You would think, right?
No, we didn't. So white women were actually given the right to vote. So when the country was founded, white land-owning men who were Protestant had the right to vote. Their women had to fight for their right to vote. They got it in 1919, and then they abandoned the Black women. because the black women still couldn't vote because we also had our race to deal with, and they didn't let black folks vote. So even though black women marched with white women during the women's suffrage march, and we marched, and I know because I'm a Delta, and the Deltas, our first act as a sorority, right, was to march alongside the white women during women's suffrage, and we did.
Wow.
And we still didn't get the right.
And they didn't come through for us.
No.
And it seems like even in 2016, they didn't really come through for us when they mostly voted for the person that's running the country right now. So
yeah, and and just fact. So I've never seen our federal government that's here align themselves with black women's issues. I've never seen any policy that's going to project my life forward. What I've seen and what it's felt like are the policies are anti-black and anti-black women. And so, in my opinion, my feeling is that people who align themselves in that way may not be down with the black women and the black folks. I don't know what
sounds like they only want to serve their own interests and not the interests of other women, which is what intersectionality represents, and that was obviously not
it.
Concern back then. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So let's get that next question up, Jamie, because I got a follow-up question for you.
Okay. So you want me to ask my question?
Well, because we're gonna jump right in. I'm gonna do two, and then I'm gonna let you do two. How's that? Does that work?
Oh, okay, that works. Oh, all right. Double trivia.
So white women got their right to vote. What year did black women get the right to vote?
Okay. What year did black women have the right to vote? Ooh, I feel like it had to be after the Civil Rights Act of 1965.
That was the Civil Rights Act of 1965. That's what it was.
Oh, okay. So then
technically
you're right. Okay.
That was it.
Okay.
Right? So when we think about that, I was thinking the other day, I was born in 1978, which was 13 years after the Civil Rights Act was passed, right? I am only 42 years old. That means that the Civil Rights Act is only 55 years old. That means that black folks have only had the right to vote in this country for 55 years.
Wow.
This country is over 400 years old, Jamie.
I didn't know it was that recent.
Mm-hmm. It was, when I realized how recent it was like shocking to my system.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, we haven't had this very long at all.
That's why it's so important that we activate our voices and go to the polls and vote. Because not that long ago, we didn't have the right to do it.
I was like being thought about. My parents were courting a little bit. All right, Jamie, you can ask me a question now. My turn.
Okay, all right. So we're going to move to movie trivia, which I'm sure probably a lot of you guys that are watching this probably know some of these answers. So my question is, who played Jane Pittman in the autobiography of Pittman?
Yeah. So my girl, Cicely Tyson. It's probably the only question I'll be able to answer. That's because I read the book and saw it when I was in 7th grade. So it resonated in here. So yes, autobiography of Miss Jane Pittman, about a black woman who was had gone through slavery all the way through civil rights and was at the end of the book got her right to vote. So I like that one.
Yes.
I like that one.
That's okay. That's good. Good on you. See? Doing good. You're doing good.
All these are yours.
Got the first one right. You're one up on me on this. Okay, so who did they want you to vote for in the film Napoleon Dynamite? Oh wait, that's the wrong question. All right, my bad. Let me go back. Who did Chadwick Boseman play in the movie Marshall?
Oh, maybe it was my boy, Thurgood Marshall.
That's right. Thurgood
I love
Marshall.
it. Thurgood Marshall, Supreme Court Justice, who is a thing, right? Like having Black folks on the Supreme Court. I actually, we'd have a whole conversation about it, but, I love that Kamala's running for VP, but I would have loved to see her on the Supreme Court. Bruh, what that would have looked like?
Yeah. Didn't we get a promise from Biden? Maybe there may be a chance, if he, becomes president, that we'll see that happen, that we'll have a Black woman on the Supreme Court.
That might be, I'll throw my hat in the ring.
Okay, all right. Don't forget about us little people now.
Maybe they would fire me. They'd fire me so quick. They would be like, I don't know how we get it.
Don't say that.
It's so funny. Every time I thought about running for judge, I always said I'd be a one-term judge because I do so many things to mess up. They'd be like, no, bro, no.
No, we need you. We need you. No.
All right, Jamie, your question. I think you had another question up there.
Okay. I do have another question. So the other question is, who did they want you to vote for in Napoleon Dynamite?
I don't know. I didn't see Napoleon Dynamite.
Okay, that was a pretty big moment in the film. Vote for Pedro.
Vote for Pedro.
Pedro, yeah.
Thank you. I didn't see the film.
You didn't see the film? Okay. Yeah, it's a few years old, but definitely go back and watch.
I did. I have a Black girl nerd moment. A Black girl nerd out of Napoleon Dynamite. Okay, next question. Let's do the next question.
All right. The next question is, what was the name? Okay, I think you're going to get this one. What was the name of the bridge that Martin Luther King marched over in Ava DuVernay's Selma?
Pettus Bridge. I got that one. Come on. There we go. All right. I think the next one. Yes. All right. I think the next ones are mine, and then we're going to move on to our next section.
Okay. Let's do it.
Oh, wait. No, this is yours. This one's yours. Oh, here we go. True or false? You registered to vote, but you forget your ID at a polling location. You're not allowed to vote. True or false?
Oh. If I forget my ID at the polling station.
Like you show up, like, shoot, I don't have my ID. You have to go home and not vote?
I feel like because of the voter suppression that's going on right now, that this is true.
It's false, right?
Okay, all right, that's good.
And that's probably, they make us think that, right? So real talk, you can sign an affidavit saying, yo, it's me. Like, there's processes that allow you to still vote, even for states that have ID requirements. They still have an exception that allows you to do something to prove that you are you. That's the whole thing with the ID, is that you prove that you are you. And there are other ways to do it. So don't go home. Don't go home. Stay there, vote, fill out your paperwork. It may take a little bit longer, but stay there and vote.
That is such good information. I did not know that, and I hope everybody listening that you guys know that now, because I'm sure there's a lot of people that didn't know. Like, I would have went home.
Exactly. All right, I think we're gonna I think I won, so I'm gonna stop the game.
You did. You demolished me. I gotta admit.
I am highly recommended on TV. So we're gonna move on to our next session, Jamie. There are some Black women that have been in our world, in our lives, that are incredible. At Citizen She, we call them radical Black women, and our amazing director of special events, Morgan, is going to tell us all about radical Black women in history.
Hey.
Hi, Morgan. Hi. So Morgan's incredible, y'all. I get the privilege and the blessing of working with Morgan. And Morgan, you did a video for us talking about radical Black women in history. Can you give us a real quick synopsis of why that was important for you to do?
I mean, so I recently graduated from college. I went to Stanford and I majored in African-American studies. And I did a focus in creative arts, and all of my work was focused on Black women because, I mean, we see this in theater and film. Like, we get these very two-dimensional versions of what Black women are, what Black women can be. And when you look at history, we've been that and then some. And some is an understatement. So to be able to just, take moments and acknowledge that Black women are radical and powerful. That was it.
All right, I'm gonna shoot over to your video because your video is incredible. I love your explanation and your thoughts around radical Black women. So let's shoot over to Morgan's video about radical Black women in history.
The Director of Special Events here at Citizen She. I am so happy that you decided to join us tonight for our non-presidential house party. You know, Nia gave me the outstanding task of somehow encapsulating how Black women are radical. And you know, that's a book, that's a movie, but we don't have that kind of time. But why are Black women radical? I mean, it's in how we look, the way we carry ourselves, the way we love, the way we learn, the way we laugh and joke. Black women have become models and pictures and ideological concepts of motherhood. We represent change. We represent birth. We represent new life. And through it all, we have also represented pain and loss and suffering. And we have shouldered those burdens, those struggles, those journeys, always with a heart full of the absolute commitment to do what we do best, which is move mountains, even in the moments where we need rest. Black women deserve rest, and we have fought for so long that sometimes we tell ourselves we don't. Black women are radical because we can beg the ones we love to rest and to take a break and to relax and, you know, pay a little attention to yourself today. Black women are radical because we are forgotten. We are sidelined. We are silenced. Black women are radical because of the Black women we don't know. The ones who gave their lives, gave their last breaths, their waking thoughts. Those women who carry this country, who carry us, our futures. Black women are radical because we will always continue to be. Because we don't give up, even when we do. Even when we give up, we still give our all to the next thing that we've given ourselves to. So we're asking that instead of giving that energy into giving up, instead of letting someone else take advantage of the radical power that we hold and that we have always held, we're asking Black women to keep being radical. We will always be change. You will always be able to take that next step. You cannot leave the future in the hands of those who are not ready, who are not willing to take on that task. The Black women, we're ready. We're here.
I keep saying every time my mic is accidentally muted, I'm like, there's some ghost out there, which is probably like all people that try to mute me. I talk so much.
That was so
Thank you,
powerful.
Morgan. Yeah,
Beautiful.
I just think one of the reasons why I feel privileged working with Morgan is because of that. So now we're going to pay tribute to some radical Black women in our history, and some of these Black women aren't the women that we always pay tribute to. But you know, these are Black women that are no longer with us, but their contribution to our lives in the world it's bold and beautiful. So we're going to pay some tribute to some of these Black women. Yeah, that one, Breonna Taylor and Jamie.
Yeah.
You know, I will say, so these women, you know, as I was putting this together, I went back in my head and thought about Black women that influenced my life, Black women that we talk about. Leah Chase, I don't know if you saw Leah Chase in there. She's homegrown, New Orleans. You know, there's a whole Disney movie about Leah Chase. You know, and there's a lot of people that don't know that so much Southern movement work was built right there at Dookie Chase Restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
She would, and they to the point, even like Essence, last Essence that we got together, group of Black women in Dookie Chase Restaurant. Last time I got to see her speak, right? Last time I was in her presence was Essence and her encouraging Black women to be civically engaged. You know, we do this work, you know, Black women have been holding it down in this country forever. And the reality is I know we're tired. We're all so doggone tired.
Mm-hmm.
But our mothers, our grandmothers, they were tired too. And they worked to give us a world that we can be proud of. So we're proud of the legacy that we can be proud of. And so, you know, I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that. All right. Thank you, Morgan, for that segment. Thank you for a radical Black woman history. Thank you for all those Ida B. Wells, Phyllis Wheatley, Breonna Taylor. She's a radical, badass Black woman. You know, she did so much dopeness. before, she was murdered and taken away from, our community and our lives. I am giving homage to the Black woman that she was. And I'm also giving homage to the Black woman that she would have been. Because I know she would have kicked ass and taken names, in her time that she would have had here absent her murder. So we are going to move forward and we gonna spill the tea. But I got my drink.
Well, got mine.
Hey, what's your drink?
I wasn't ready.
She's like, I wasn't ready for no drinks tonight.
I could go run and get one real quick. I could make one real quick.
Nobody works with me.
All right.
And don't have no drink available.
All right. I'll be back in like a minute and 30
All right.
seconds.
Jamie, I'm embarrassed. How people work with me and ain't got no drink?
Drink.
So we are going to spill the tea. Spill the tea. Y'all, we have a dope panel of some Black women, young Black women around in civic engagement for a while, Black women with working with trans community, Black women working with, sex workers, Black women from all over, young Black women, everybody. We got the whole gamut. I hope they got some drinks with them too, because, y'all can't be on here with no drink. But we're going to bring the panel up, our Spill the Tea panel. Ladies, where y'all at? Y'all been sitting here backstage with me for a minute. There you are, Taylor. I see you. Hey, baby girl. Nikki out here working, getting ready with Timberland. Timberland is my girl. Yes. I love this, everybody. Morgan getting her drink. I love it. We're going to keep that chair empty because Morgan should be embarrassed that she had to go get her drink. And she worked
a sparkly drink. I like that. Let me see that glass again. Raise that glass. Nice. I love that.
Tim, they don't know how we rock, Tim. They don't know how we rock.
You can't be a pusher. Now, Nia, listen. You can't be a pusher. We have to ease the young ladies in. Like, we didn't come to the table already drinking drinks.
That's true. Yeah, we did. I did. I know what you
did too. But
I did too. Truth be told,
I try to be a little more gentler with my young folks, and like I have my young people on. I don't want them to think that Miss Tim is just a straight up boozy.
Oh, but, no, Taylor. Miss Tim is not a boozy. I've never drunk with Miss Tim.
Oh, but I love a good party, and especially when it's talking about something I love, like politics. Definitely.
There we go. Tim also keeps me sane, Jamie. When I'm like, I can't go no more, Tim's like, nah, I got you on my back. We're going to keep moving it forward.
Nice.
Nikki.
Ride or die. That's good.
Nikki has been organizing a texathon. Tomorrow we're going to have a texathon, texting 200,000 Black women, low propensity voters in the state, reminding them that tomorrow's early voting. Nikki, thank you for that work.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, Samantha has been working with Black kids, Black teachers, Black girls, journalists, pushing things forward. Samantha, thank you so much for being here. Taylor, I am just meeting your beautiful face, but I am so grateful for your face to be here. You've been waiting in the wings this whole time. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. All right, y'all. The way Spill the Tea is going to work. I didn't even prep them, y'all. I just kind of told them they're going to be on this panel. They said yes. The way Spill the Tea is going to work, Morgan, she's been working her behind off and curating these videos from Black women, asking questions about things that are important to Black women in our lives, all right? We're going to take 10 minutes each statement, question, and we're going to talk about it. These Black women are going to take it from their own perspective. One thing that we have to understand that Black women are not a monolith. We don't all think, feel, understand, come to things all the same way. So this conversation, you may see yourself in somebody, you may not see yourself in somebody. That's just the way Black women rock because we are human beings. And so we all come from different places. So we're going to go ahead and spill the tea. Our first spill the tea question statement is about education because, Black education matters, doesn't it? All right, so let's get that first question out there.
So
for Black students to channel energy from their personal. How can public schools create a safe space for Black students to channel energy from their personal narratives and, in some cases, personal traumas to create beautiful artwork in the classroom and engage in culturally relevant pedagogy? How can public schools create a safe space for Black students to channel energy from their personal narratives and, in some cases, personal traumas to create beautiful artwork in the classroom and engage in culturally relevant pedagogy?
That's a question.
That is a good question. That's a hard one.
Question. You know,
I just want to say, shout out to my girl Destiny. Hey, Destiny!
I love it.
So, from a mother's perspective, it isn't hard. It isn't hard, and I'm just speaking from the New Orleans experience as far as the charter school experiment, and being a mother and having 3 children on different spectrums, being educated in the New Orleans school system. And one of the most important things is that we have African American teachers in our classrooms. After Hurricane Katrina, I found it very disturbing, and especially as the charter school movement in New York, California, Texas, different places, that we don't have African American teachers educating our children. And so when we look at the bias, we look at the high suspension rate, we look at our students are not getting what they need as far as a lack of, I want to say, education as far as books, computers. And so when you go into white schools and when you go into African American schools, it's very diverse as far as education and as far as the culture. And so that's one of the most important things that I think that in order to build and create a beautiful art experience, a safe space, a loving space, where our children can thrive, that we must have Black educators in the classroom.
So I want to tackle that question. So I want to answer that question also, Nia. One of the things that I think that first has to happen is we have to acknowledge that education is like any other system. It is built on the dynamics of white supremacy. And so being that it has that framework, we have to acknowledge it and own it. I have experienced and witnessed when there is an opportunity for children of color to bring their culture into the classroom, it is not often received, whether the teachers, the staff is Black or white, because there is a narrative that's already been said about those children of color. And so cultural competency is something that we very seldom talk about. And that needs to exist in the schools and in the system in itself. Until we actually acknowledge that there is value in Black culture and brown culture, then we will never see that mosaic that was being questioned. Although it is often duplicated and imitated, but it is never really celebrated by those who actually created. So I think that that's one thing that we have to do to actually get to the mosaic. We have to acknowledge that we have a supremacy that has been built upon by white privilege being of the absolute. I'm a native New Orleanian. I went to what is considered to be a white public school, but it wasn't when I was going there. It was a very diverse institution. It was a school that was a neighborhood school. And so one thing that I would love to see happen is we become more intentional about policies that are created without our children in mind. And being intentional about what's in the best interest of our children, so that when those policies are drafted, we take our own existence into consideration as Black and brown families. That's my thoughts.
I love you, Tim. That's why I appreciate that. Sam, you work with students, don't you? You work with teachers. Like, what do you have to say about that?
Yeah, I mean,
they took it all. These ladies actually just said it all, because I really was going to only add two things. I mean, one, as a school, as in leadership, if you want to encourage Black students to be themselves and to be able to express themselves, you have to actually want that. And I think that very often people they don't want Black girls, in particular, showing up with their full selves. So you're not going to encourage your teachers to do it. Then you're not going to create a space where particularly Black teachers feel comfortable doing it. Instead, you will create a space where they might even be punished or, find other, like it might impact them to create spaces where they are allowing other students to actually show up free and fully. And so the main thing is that you have to be working within a system where the desire is for all children to show up as their full selves. And in the absence of that, everything else is really just sort of tinkering around the edges. Everything else is after school programs, which we know need to be there and are an outlet. But you're not fooling anyone, and you're not fooling the children either. You're for sure not fooling the children. You're first and foremost not fooling the children. So as long as they're in systems where no one really wants them to show up as their full selves, you can forget about it happening. So I agree with the other women who were saying, we have to be there 100%. I am not a parent, but I respect every parent who shows up and demands that, that's what this school needs to be moving towards. That's what this system needs to be moving towards. And then educators need to be showing up in that way, and in leadership roles and in the classroom, because everyone knows the deal, unless there are people who are really, really there who are about that.
Sam, I love that. Thank you. So many times we have conversations about students in schools, and we don't talk to the students. Taylor, what say you, my love?
Well, okay. So as a student at the school, I'm a senior at Carr, and the only thing I could think of was my first. Well, she wasn't my first Black teacher, but she was the first one who actually made a difference for me. Shout out to Miss Constance, Monique Constance. She is an English teacher, and for her, we thought that we were going to, because she taught AP, so we thought that she was going to go straight by the curriculum and everything, but she kind of left our essays up to what we wanted to write about, and so we had beautiful essays written from people's traumas to people's passions to like how someone saw dance as an interpretation for their life. So on a small scale for like students, teachers like Miss Constance and many more that I've had the honor of, teaching me, like they've made a difference in how I think and the way I want to present myself in the education system.
Taylor, thank you so much for sharing that with us. I appreciate that. All right, ladies, that's our 10 minutes. Anybody else have like final thoughts before I kick it over to the next question? All right, so that one had to do with education and art, and we just gonna go straight to art, because, as Black women, our art and it's bold, it's beautiful. So the next question is about art being bold and beautiful. Let's kick it to our next question.
Hi, my name is Sequoia, and my question is, what tools and resources are necessary for Black women to feel safe enough to create art? And how can we as a community provide those resources and those environments? Hi, my name is Sequoia, and my question is, what tools and resources are necessary for Black women to feel safe enough to create art? And how can we as a community provide those resources and those environments?
Yeah, thank you, Sequoia. I appreciate that. Good, Morgan. I know those your people. I see you. I see you in there being like, "Hi, that's my girl." I appreciate that, and I
realized after that I shouldn't have started like that because now I'm gonna want to do it every time, and there's no point. I can't do it every time, so I'm just
you got to. But Morgan, you got to because your girl's gonna come after you and be like, "You said to go ahead and say it to me." So you got to every time. I will say, one thing I appreciate and love about Black women is we put this together very quickly because we just found out the debate wasn't happening. We had to put these pieces together, and Black women show up and say yes when it is in support of other Black women. And so, I just really want to center that when people say Black women can't come together, can't work together, lies, lies, lies. Biggest lie ever told. So that question about supporting Black women being able to do y'all see with the back of my, I got all my art, my Black. This one is made in Cuba, right? I love art made by Black women, unapologetically about Black women. But Black women don't always feel safe doing that, right? We don't always get the resources. And then being bold is not. How do we keep Black women safe when they're creating beautiful artwork that represents us and who we are? And I know I got some artists. So yeah, I knew that was you, Morgan. I knew you were.
Yeah. I mean, one, I'll say that I think the generation that I'm in, this is kind of a conversation topic that we discuss a lot, primarily because the younger generations, a lot of folks talk about the differences and things in the generations. But I think for younger folks, we are very much shifting more towards focusing on our health as individuals, as opposed to, only, primarily focusing on the family's health or the community's health. Because as we've seen, we a lot of times don't talk about traumas that we have in our families. We don't talk about, things that might be considered too political that might cause problems. And so just realistically, as a community, we keep a lot of things from each other, and we villainize a lot of aspects of Blackness, of Black womanhood. We don't, as we were saying before, with the education system, we don't centralize and really give love and care to our own culture. So honestly, I would say Black women have a right to not feel safe, all the time in sharing that artwork, because realistically, we are not all safe, because we as a community are not ready to talk about, our own, damages that we have done to each other as we have struggled to survive under the white patriarchy. And so I really think that really looking into ourselves and looking at how we can best love ourselves and how we can best love, all aspects of Blackness. I think that is what we really need to do and work on that healing, that trauma, because we do have a lot within our own community.
That's so real.
Preach.
It's so real. Nikki, you work with a lot of marginalized communities in art and poetry. I don't know if y'all know, Nikki does a lot of work, with HIV, Black men and women, trans community. You're right there in the thick of things. And every time you and I talk about doing something with civic engagement, you always bring up art. Talk to us about safety in communities, especially marginalized communities, creating art and putting it out there.
Oh, Nikki's muted.
Here we go. There we go.
One of the most powerful things about Black art is that Black art encompasses so many things. Black art, it's a healing light. It's a hurricane. It's a beautiful mosaic. It's a storm. It's includes our trauma, and all of those includes also our stories, and our stories make us who we are. And so whether those stories come from a path of darkness or a path of light, we can build upon that. And so in working with individuals who are HIV positive, those who are sex workers, those who are actually substance abuse users, one of the most powerful things that we utilize is art. And that's the art of poetry, that's the art of dance, and that's also the art of just creating paintings. And so that's one of the beautiful things that come from us. But one of the things that we have to realize is that support is so necessary, because art is such a beautiful thing, but we don't value each other, and we don't value our artists. You know, of course, if the artist is someone like Beyonce, but if it's a smaller scale artist, you know, that's coming from our hometown, you know, or that's someone who we don't know, they are have the heart to, you know, put their work out there, put their voice out there. You know, we don't support them. And so one of the things that I really love, and when I look at Morgan and when I look at all like the beautiful young people who are on this panel, is that the young people I see since Breonna Taylor's death, they have been creating some beautiful art. If you go on YouTube, you can see them creating like the dance, you know, out of her death. It's something, you know, just like that. And it tells a story. It's painful, so it moves you. And so we have to begin to support our young artists, and not only support the artists, but make certain that that to the forefront, because during the Harlem Renaissance, that's what kept us alive. It was that artwork, you know, those art pieces told those stories. It was those folks that told the stories. It was our Black dancers that told the story and how we overcame. And so we have to begin to build upon that once again.
I love that, Nikki. You know what? I appreciate that. You know, I especially in New Orleans, right? Like when we feel something, it goes in our feet. We start dancing. The music plays. You know, one of the moments that struck me hard was when those young boys were killed not too long ago, and I watched the daddy second lining in front of the picture of his child. And I don't think that people really understand, outside of New Orleans, really understand that our pain comes out in the rhythm of our feet, in the beats of our music. You know, when people say they love New Orleans, they love our food, they're tasting our pain, they're tasting our struggle. And so it's just like, you know, I don't know. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Nikki. Jamie, I do. Oh, Tim, you had something?
So I wanted to stick on this word safety, right? And so what we always hear about Black folks is resilience. And the resilience, it seems as though in this current environment that our resilience is a part of our oppression, right? And so I began to question, or I'm still stuck with what the person was asking around, like, where is it safe? And what we know about Black women is our bodies have been used to be politicized for so long. Like if you think about even in Louisiana right now, we have amendment, I think it's number 1 or 2.
One.
It's one. Right? It's one. And so when we're talking about it, the people who are going to be most hardly affected should that amendment pass is Black women. Black and brown women are going to be more hard hit because guess what? The reality is we can't travel outside of Louisiana. Half of us couldn't get across Canal Street before Katrina. So telling us that we have to go to another state where we have agency over our bodies is going to be a challenge for us. And so one of the things that I always pay attention, like some of my favorite artists is like Audre Lorde. I love Alice Walker. I love Toni Morrison. I love these women because they talk about Black women and their bodies. They talk about our sexuality. They talk about how we own our, excuse my French, Taylor. You about to get the real Miss Taylor. We own our shit. You know, like this mine. You're not gonna tell me when and where I can do what I want to do. And so what I think safety, when the question was being asked, I think that we really need to hone in on where do we feel safe? Because when you think about the 4 domains that actually rule our existence, politics, civic, which includes the church, business, like where do we really own us?
Yeah.
And have a say in us and what happens to us. And the only safe place that we actually have is with each other.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
You know, so much now to the point that Black women are now saying, I want a Black OBGYN. I want a Black woman who's a I want a Black woman who's my attorney. Like, we only feel safe in talking about our physical space, our spiritual space, and our mental and emotional space with Black women. And that's not coincidental. And what society, and I think that, you know, we don't talk about is what that safety means to our holistic health. You know, reaching back to what Morgan was talking about, it's like, in order for me to be healthy, for me to show up, is I have to feel like I can do this in a space where I'm authentic. Right? And so I think that that's, you know, I don't want us to sidestep what was being asked, like, where's the safety place for us to place art?
Yeah.
Because, yes, I agree with you, Nia. Like, our art comes out in our pain. But for Black women, our art comes out in our cooking. Our art comes out, you know, it comes out in the way that we sing. It comes out, you know, when we're humming in the shower. Our art comes out in our dance. Our art comes out in the, even like right now, this is an art form. Our conversations, the way we engage each other is very artistic.
Yeah.
And so it is about those entities and those institutions creating a safe space for those art forms to actually emerge and survive and thrive.
So I am going to Tim every time, Tim, every time.
Y'all, give me a bottle of red wine and you get my PhD coming out in me.
Y'all don't even understand.
That's all it is. Look, I got this cute bottle of red wine. I got this little cute because I tried to find mint leaves to make that drink and I could not find. I went to 3 stores trying to find mint leaves.
I love it. I'm glad you were trying to make the Justini smash the.
I wanted to be a part of the club. See, that's an art form. That's me saying I want to be a part. So if this is the drink that we drinking tonight, I'ma drink it. But the reality is, I got tired, y'all. I had a long day. I got a long day tomorrow, and I said, to hell with it. I'm gonna buy me a bottle of red wine because they can guess what's in this pink cup.
I love it. I love it so much, and I love you so much. And Tim, you know, I'm gonna take Jamie. I think we can take a little bit of a moderator's, you know, freelance and move a little bit away from the programming for just a moment, because Tim brought up something that resonates with me that I would love to pose to the panel. So do I have permission, Jamie? Do I have permission to throw them out there? Yeah, I got co-hosts. We a team, you know what I'm saying? We a team. You know, this ain't a solo project. Jamie, Black Girl Nerds, is what with me today. So, you know, want to ask my teammates. So, Black women, you know, there's so many conversations about Black women saving the country and Black women, you know, showing up and doing all these things. And Tim, not very many conversations about what we need to feel safe. And I would love to hear from each panelist on what safety means to you and what you need to feel safe in this world. I'd like to put that out there. Oh, I got the Black girl. I got all the faces. Wait, why I got the Kamala faces going on? Like, it's literally like a Sia Kamala faces. I really want, because I think that if we're talking about policy, if we're talking about voting and all of that stuff, what we're actually talking about is how we want to experience the world, how we want to live in this space. And if we're having those conversations and not talking about, was it like safety is like literally at the bottom of the hierarchy of needs. It's like it's baseline. And so for us to be able to walk out of our house, and for us to be able to do our jobs, take care of our children, take care of our bodies, we got to feel safe. Tim, you brought up the fact that we want Black women doctors and lawyers and stuff. Why? Because we feel safe in those spaces and they feel that will hold us. And so I appreciate you bringing that up. And I'd love for us to put out there, if we're going to talk about politics, policy, and everything right on our back, let's talk about what we're demanding the world to do for us to feel safe, and that looks different for each of us.
But I mean, it shows up near in the fact, like, you know, I love my sorrow. I'm AKA strong, right?
I'm drinking my drink.
Like, I'm AKA strong, boo. What? No, listen. I love Kamala. I think that she will make an excellent. She has made an excellent running mate for Joe Biden. But I am very confident in her being chosen is because he recognized that Black women will show up for Black women.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Right. So there is a safety thing. When we look at the state of Louisiana, if you look at our major cities in 17, 16 is when all of them were running for mayor. Most of them voted in Black women for the first time. That's right.
That's right.
And here's the sad thing. I started a podcast because less than 11% of our legislative are women.
Talk about pros, cons, and politics, Tim.
Not just Black women, they are women. In a state where women are the majority, we are the economy.
That's right.
We don't support each other. And so here is where, you know, I get a lot of my husband included, I get folks all upset and on pins and needles because I talk about the fact that women have not owned their own power. And Black women have relinquished, pretty much gave it up and said, we're going to allow white women to carry our power and we'll just jump on the bandwagon when needed. When the reality is Black women need to show up. Right. And we need to make demands, and we need to make demands in a real way that is in a beneficial way, outcome for our families.
That's right.
Right.
That's right. That's
so
right.
Whether it's education, criminal justice, healthcare, we got to know what the realities are for us and speak those truths. That's and right. Not be afraid to talk about it. Like it's like we become shameful around what our realities are. And so when we talk about safe spaces, here's where the safe spaces come in here. The safe spaces, I need to know my sisters got me.
Yeah.
I need to know if I talk about my daddy, my brother, my husband being in prison, and I'm coming up front and talking about the criminal justice system and how they are raping and robbing me to take care of mine, that we put it out there. That's and right. not internalize those shameful outcomes.
That's right.
Because what we know is that Black women are the most educated. We're making the most money. We are most visible in any industry. So when it comes to raises and, you know,
you're my coins.
That we get them, but we get them. Here's the thing: we get them when we ask for them. Most of the times we don't get them because we don't ask for them.
There you go, Tim. There you go, Tim. I appreciate that. Tim, I'm gonna kick it to Sam real quick.
No, you can kick it to whoever. I just didn't like that little silence thing. You know that gets on my nerves.
I
know people be trying to think, and I got a lot to say. And I'm trying to step back, but if y'all let that silence thing go too long, I'm gonna step up. I'm telling you now.
So Tim and I were on the same radio station. Tim had Pros, Cons, and Politics. I had Mass Incarceration, and so Tim and I both have radio personalities. That and I knew when I asked Tim, I knew exactly what's coming. But I'm gonna kick it to Sam, because Sam, I want to hear from you. What does safety look like for you, and what do you need in order to feel safe? You and I talked a little bit about that when you were talking about being in New Orleans and moving here and all of that. I would love to hear from you what safety means to you, what you need the country and the world to show up to for you to feel safe in it.
Yeah, I mean, what a beautiful question. And I think these days it's hard to know where to start, because I think for a lot of us, we're wondering when the last time was we felt truly safe. And so you're being asked to think about, what is the state that I want to embody again that has been a while since I felt. But I think my answer right now is that I want to, for me, safety feels like I don't have to show up in the world and do everything perfectly right in order to stay alive, in order to thrive. That there are systems around me that are also helping to look after me. And so, we're talking about, I love this conversation about how we're looking for Black professionals in all aspects of our lives to help look after us, because I want to believe that if I don't go to the doctor, if I go to the doctor and I don't have a perfect list of every single thing that's wrong with me, that this doctor won't miss something. Like I need to be at a doctor's office where someone is listening to me and trusting my assessment of my pain and saying, from hearing you need to go and get this test. And you know what? I've gotten that from Black female doctors who I've been like, I think it's nothing. And she's been like, well, you're going to go and get all these tests to make sure it's nothing. Help me look after me in the system, like it goes beyond saying, when I leave my house, am I being looked at as a human being or am I a target? We all know that you can't behave perfectly enough to avoid being a target these days. There is no, respectability we know means nothing. And yet we still have to try. But if I'm not perfect, can I still be safe out in society? If can I not be blamed in terms of my health care and in my health and my body? Can I not, can I live in a world where I don't have to do everything right in order to keep my body healthy and safe? Can I have access to medical care? Can I have faith and trust in that community? So for me, it's just like, can I get some societal and institutional support? Because I do believe we have that in our communities. And like you said at the very beginning, there's a lot of vested interest in keeping the narrative going that we don't get support from other Black people, especially Black women. And we know that's a lie. But real safety is, can I leave this house and have we made it so that this country is one that sees me as deserving, as whole? And so the places and the people and the systems I encounter are also somewhat looking out for me, because it's a lot to carry everything on your own all the time. And we've been doing it because we had to do it, but that's not safety. That's survival. And we know that many of our sisters aren't making it on the other side. And anyone who pretends that they know for sure that that's not their reality is deluding themselves too. And so we just have to make sure that by default, when we walk out that door, that we're getting something better.
I think you said exactly I think you said exactly that's, yes. Taylor, I'm a mom of 4 children. And I consider them every time they walk outside the house. And I don't see the difference between my child and any other Black child that's been lost. I see every time I see my own. And so I worry about our children being able to dream and breathe and live in this world absent an extra amount of fear. As a young Black woman still navigating high school, what are your demands of the adults in your life for you to feel safe, for you to feel like you can dream unapologetically and be everything that I see on the screen?
Whew, okay, I'm glad you guys brought it up, because that was the one thing that I was thinking about the whole time everybody was talking. Because growing up from elementary school to the school I go to now, it was vastly different. And I always had a big vocabulary just because I could read and all that. And I hated my Blackness being questioned because I was so intelligent to a white teacher, or I was more intelligent than my other Black peers just because I knew more words than them. Because explaining something is easy, but for you to actually understand someone based on their vernacular or the way they say something is 2 completely different things. And for me, my dream has always been to go into law. And I know it's very difficult as a Black woman and as a Black person to, you know, want to represent both your side, but also have that thing of like your white colleagues in the back of you being like, oh, well, you know, we already know who she's going for and what she wants. And it's like, no, I have my own mind and I know what I want. And I can also represent my people and my people can also have my back. So for me, it would be like, safety to me looks like where I can just be me without having the, oh, well, you know, she acts white or she's this or she's that because she's been around white people. Like, I'm still Black, I'm still me, and my dreams are my own.
So I hear you, Taylor, about going to law school. And I will say right here, right now, you get into law school, I will pay for your books all 3 years, and I will pay for your bar prep courses. So, like,
wow, that's amazing.
Make sure you get in, and I'll make sure that you get to stay in, and I'll make sure that you become a lawyer. Right.
And I'm a whole lot accountable here.
And look, and then you may take over Citizen She. That's all I'm gonna say. You know what I'm saying? I may have found my successor. You know what I'm saying? You never know how that goes.
That is amazing. Wow.
I love it. I do want to get everyone's assessment of safety before we go to the next question. I know we're on time, but I do want to get quickly Morgan, you know, Jamie, safety for you. Nikki, safety for you. Because I think this is really important.
Well, I can just go real quick. This is something that I've thought about a lot, especially as we've seen like the Black Lives Matter protests happening, and just as we've seen the younger generations, you know, civic engagement becoming, the ways that we engage in civic engagement becoming much more at the forefront. Anybody that knows me knows that as far as my concerns go, it starts and ends. Well, first it starts with the Black community, and then it ends with people of color. Because as far as I'm concerned, we've left some decisions to some folks for way too long. So this is for us. And so the questions of safety I have are for our people and how we engage with each other. And I'm curious about our dynamics between generations, and this concept of when the younger generation is old enough to be leaders. When are we valid enough? When is our experience, our knowledge, when is it enough for us to, you know, not have to be told that we're not ready yet, that we don't know enough yet? Because I think for us, what we are facing is every era of movement, typically the young folks they are the ones who carry that movement, and they become the elders, and then they pass down that knowledge. But we always have the same difficulty every time, which is the clash between the older generation and the younger generation, and who knows more and who knows what's best. And so I think for us, safety comes in accepting that at this point, we all know something, and we all have something that we can contribute. As we've seen with, you know, social distancing and, you know, remote learning, the younger generations are seen as the tech gurus. But, you know, we also have shown that we know a lot about grassroots movements. And not because, you know, we just invented things, but we've been listening. We have been learning from our elders, you know, and as not all of us, I can say, because that is something that we have seen systemically. A lot of our history has been kept from us and erased. But we listen, you know, we had cookouts. We heard the family stories, you know, we know so-and-so. We know Auntie and Uncle and them was, you know, Black Panthers. We heard, we listened, and, you know, we expressed in ways that are different. And we have been given, you know, new technological mediums, but we've also, as I said before, like we are perceiving life differently. we are forcing the self to have to coexist with the community. And so what I would ask for safety is, you know, that we all accept that we all have something to offer and we all could have caused trauma. And it's, you know, it's a European Western concept that the elder or there someone has to be above to be the educator. Our people, our cultures have never operated in that way. Everything has always been of reciprocity. And as we demand reciprocity of the systems that govern us, we have to demand that same reciprocity and accountability for ourselves within our families, within our communities. When we have, as we push for Black teachers in classrooms, let's not belittle students as they struggle, because we know Black teachers, and also as we are not a monolith, not all Black teachers are willing to listen to Black students. That is something that we have to accept, because that ends up having an impact on the youth as we go through, you know, the education systems. Maybe we had that one Black teacher who didn't listen to us, and so the next Black teacher that gets us is like, what's wrong with this kid? They don't listen. It's like, I tried, but I'm done with y'all. And, you know, we might be a little bit more reactionary, you know, than some of the past generations when it comes to the timing of it. But, you know, we have been learning, and we also hurt, and we also are ready to heal, and really just wanting to be truly heard and met halfway on all aspects of that.
Thank you, Morgan. Thank you for that. Nikki, I see you over there, Nikki. Nikki probably sitting there trying to figure out how to get this texathon thing going so we get these Black women to show up. We were emailing right before this.
Yes,
Nikki,
yes.
Nikki, I'm gonna put you on the spot. Nikki, real quick. Y'all, we try to make sure that the people, you know, I believe in people getting their coins. You know what I'm saying? And my staff, you know, I believe my staff getting paid, getting their coins. And I've been on Nikki for some time. My aunt's been on Nikki, who does our financial work. Like, Nikki, where is your invoice? And Nikki called me, and Nikki said, Nia, I took this job not expecting to get paid. Nikki has shown up and given me way more than the 20 hours that I've asked every day, figuring out how to work systems, figuring out how to, some of the things, yo, we threw mess on the wall. We got money, girl. We threw mess on the wall trying to figure out how to do this campaign. And we've been all over the place trying to figure out these pieces. And Nikki has steadily adjusted and readjusted, trying to make sure that this campaign goes the way we've envisioned it and inform us on the spaces that we need. And when she said that, Nikki, I don't even think you understand. Y'all about to see some beautiful artwork she's curated, these love letters that she's curated, these love letters that she's written, all because she loves you all, because she loves Black women. But Nikki, what does Nikki need for Nikki to feel safe? For Nikki to be able to walk out of her door and feel good? Not anybody else, Nikki, because you move for everybody else. I'm talking about Nikki.
You're gonna make me cry because that's so true, but that's just how I am. I just think just to be able to show up authentic and just to have the beauty to allow my voice to be heard. Growing up in a household of one of 8, and you know, some people know my story, some people don't, but I always share it. I'm growing up in an abusive household, and so where my voice was just, you know, I was taught you had to keep buttons on your lips. And so when I began to grow and heal and get into therapy myself, one of the things that I always said that I wanted to do is to ensure that little Black girls that look like me would not have that same experience. And so for me, I want to make certain, you know, I continue so I can continue to pour into the next generation. And for me, that is more important. But most importantly, when I look at the state of Black America and how Black women are the most unprotected, we're the most unloved, but yet we show up and we show out, you know, in large numbers, you know, for our people. I want us to continue to show up for one another, to be authentic with that. And so for me, I'm always about just being surrounded with love and being surrounded with women who pour into the fountain of love. And I think that is so important for each and every one of us, is to continue to pour into one another and continue to pour into that fountain, because that's how we water one another. And that's exactly how we grow. And that's how we build. And that's how we prosper, because abundance arises from all of that. And so, for me, it's just the spirit of love, for people to show the spirit of love. For me, that's so important.
I appreciate that, Nikki. Thank you for that. Jamie, co-host. I don't know.
I'm just absorbing all of this like wisdom and just positive energy. Like, this is so inspiring. And I know that people that are listening right now are, obviously gaining not only a lot of information, but they're going to feel motivated and activated to use their voice in any which way, whether it's to go vote or to start doing community organizing, whether it's to start their own business, because they're hearing these incredibly intelligent and well-versed Black women that are speaking about their personal and professional experiences. And they're looking at them and going, you know what? I could do that too. Like, this person looks like me, and I can actually do that thing, whether it's to go into law or to go into policy organizing or whatever it is. And I just wanted to just throw that out there, that this is such an important conversation, but I feel like this conversation could change the course of someone's life. And I'm not just saying that as hyperbole or being exaggerating. Like, I honestly feel like when you see yourself reflected in someone that you're not used to seeing, because we hear these conversations and we see these conversations on TV shows and stuff all the time, but usually it's women that don't look like us, or even men. But when you see Black women that are having these really in-depth conversations around just everything that we've been talking about tonight, it's enough to really change someone's way of thinking and really even inspire them to the point where their self-esteem, can be boosted from just hearing these words. So anyways, I just wanted to say that this conversation is everything.
I love it, Jamie. Thank you for that. Thank you. All right, I know we're short on time. We got 2 more questions. I'm telling you, I'm gonna shorten it up. We're gonna get 5 minutes through these questions. I promise. Morgan's friends that gave us these questions, we're gonna make sure we go. So we're gonna go to the next question that we have. I'm calling it No Justice, No Peace, but it's about showing up in community. Can we get the No Justice, No Peace question up here? Okay, we go. I'm telling you, it's Tech Thursday. It is Tech Thursday.
I love
it. Bruh, it's Thursday. It's like, y'all should have seen me before. I literally had 2 events going on at the same time. So
What are ways I can engage my local community beyond the election cycle?
Ooh, that is such a good one. I will say I like that one because that keeps coming up, right? When I talk to Black women about voting, they're like, I don't know if I want to choose one white man over. I'm like, what does that mean? What is next? What is after that, right? And so, how do we engage our policymakers? Tim, I know you know this, but how do we engage our policymakers outside of election cycle? Because they just come at us for our vote. But like, our lives are so much more than, pushing a button. So what do y'all think about engaging policymakers outside of election cycle? You don't have to step back, Tim. You can step in.
I can step in. I need to ask for permission because I've been taking over, y'all. I'm sorry. The red wine is talking. I believe engagement is a continuum. There's
Step
no
in.
stop and start. There's no stop and start. I mean, I think that's the way. I was taught about y'all know about Pavlov's dog? If you went to college, that's one of the first things they teach you in psychology, right? And so it's like we have been conditioned to believe that we are not supposed to engage these people who we have elected. When the reality is that's all we're supposed to do with them. It's not so much about our vote, it's about our engagement. Right. And so I could say my elected officials don't like me because I call them all the time. I see them at parties. I will stop you at a gala. I will, if you show up at our school event, I'm gonna be like, did you get my email that I sent to you last week? And if you got it, you didn't respond and you didn't have your people to respond. So therefore, I'm going to assume you didn't get it. Mm-hmm. So the reality is, I think that one of the things that we have to become is we have to become the what my grandmother used to call a Miss Emma. Miss Emma was a woman who sat in her screen and she saw everything that was happening in the neighborhood, and she reported on it. And she let you know what your responsibility was, and she held you accountable to it. So at some point, I am hoping that as Black women, we become Miss Emma. Like we show up and say, listen, here is what the charter schools, if that's your issue, charter schools are doing to our city. Here is what the infrastructure that is not happening is doing to our cities or our communities. Here's what not having transportation is doing. And it's not even about having numbers. We've become this society that we believe that data only has to be quantitative. Like that it only has to be around numbers. Qualitative data is just as valuable as quantitative data.
Say it, Tim.
Your story and your experience don't need to have no numbers behind it because it is yours.
Right here. Mm-hmm. That's right.
And as long as you can defend your story as being your reality, he or she has a responsibility to responding to that.
That's right.
So that's my take on it. As you can see, I am very passionate about everything. Like right now, I am ready to call whomever got all this sand outside my door that keeps getting and messing up my heels. Like I spend too much money on shoes for me to have to walk in mud. That's so real to me. And so that's my reality.
That's so real. I also agree with you, Tim, because I think Coterie gonna stop inviting me to their parties.
I have Nia. You know, I used to be invited to all the parties. I have not had an invitation in about 3 years.
Look. I only get set up a stage and I have these other connections so they feel, but I can see it in their faces the minute I start talking. I'm like, they're like, oh, here come Nia again. Here she go again. I'm like,
guess what? You know what? Here's the thing that I want us to think about. And, this is the thing that Stella can tell you that I talk to my students about all the time is that your voice is the one platform that no one can take away from you.
There we go. Right. There we go. I appreciate that.
It's the same things that your parents and your grandparents used to say about your mind, right? Mm-hmm. They said you get an education, that's something nobody can ever take away.
Right. That's right.
And so I want us to realize that our voices are our microphones. Let's amplify that.
That's right.
Let's be about that. And the reality is, I'm so excited to see my little niece Morgan on here. She so
we all don't know.
For those who don't know,
for you, Morgan,
you're lucky I wasn't gonna put up the picture of you and Jackson together, right? At the trumpet release party. So Morgan was like my little baby. She and my son are the same age. And when I had a baby, Morgan just took on my daughter who is 6 years old. And so there is a responsibility that I owe to women like Morgan.
Yep. That's real. That's right.
Because guess what? When you guys were doing the acknowledging the women who we owe homage to, I started going back to like just women who are just Louisiana homegrown, New Orleans homegrown.
You talked about
I was writing their names down. Like when you guys were amplifying the voices from a national perspective, I was like Aretha Castle Haley, Dorothy Taylor, Mama D, right? Like these are women who put their bodies, their minds on the front line to ensure that persons like myself had a platform that we could stand on.
Right.
And there's still women, when we think about Carol B. Bell, Thelma French, Diana Bourgeois, there are still women who are constantly putting Black women, putting themselves on the front line to ensure that Black women like myself are able to sit on these kind of platforms. And so I owe something to Morgan and Taylor.
Yep. That's right. That's right.
And until we get to a place where we recognize that what South Africa calls Ubuntu, I am because you are.
Yes.
Then we will constantly be in this struggle that we have been in for, I think you and Jamie were talking about the number of years that Black women have been fighting and struggling to be on the forefront. We're going to stay in that struggle until we realize Ubuntu.
That's right. That's right.
Like I can't be because I am because of Thelma French. I am because of Castle Haley. I am because of Dorothy Mae Taylor. And when you think about the things, like these women did not do small things. Like the reason that Mardi Gras is integrated is because of Dorothy Mae Taylor. Ain't no Black or white man did that.
Right. That's right. That's right. Whoo, Tim. See, I knew that was your question. See, that was just for you. Okay, we got one last question, Tim.
I'm gonna shut up because Jackson had told me I have not kissed her goodnight and said,
"Kiss my baby."
Because I've been with y'all. See, that's what y'all do. This is what this do to our families. My children be like, Mama, you ain't said goodnight to me. You ain't kissed me. You've been talking to these women all night long.
That's what we do. That's a multitask.
I am. That's why I'm walking. So when I walk away, don't think I'm ignoring you, ladies.
We got you. We got you. Multitask. Jackson, got it. I'm here. I'm pro Jackson. How about that? All right. We got one last question. Our slogan for this entire campaign has been, yes, sis, your life and your vote do matter. And so our last question is about our civic engagement. So let's get that last question up here.
When elected, what do you plan to do in order to alleviate the rampant voter suppression that's been going on, particularly during this election?
Yeah. You know, I've been having, go ahead.
What plan to do in order to alleviate the rampant voter suppression that's been going on, particularly during this election?
I can't tell y'all how many conversations I've had about voter suppression. Mm-hmm. And one thing that I talk about voter suppression, the most, you know, we know the ostentatious ways voter suppression happens, the ballot boxes being, you know, coming up all of a sudden. We talk about, we know about the literacy tests. We know all the overt acts. But the most subtle and the most impactful act that has happened is the belief that our vote doesn't matter. Because that prevents people from even showing up at the polls. You don't have to worry about litigation, all that stuff. If you gotta, you know what I'm saying, people ain't showing up. And they have put that in our hearts and minds since the Emancipation Proclamation was signed. If you go back, Southern states, when they did their constitutional convention after we were newly freed, in their verbiage it says in furtherance of white supremacy. If you go back to the Willie Lynch papers, you say you put these thoughts in the minds and hearts of these people, and they will feel it for generations to come And we do. This country has been around 400 years. Only 55 of them we've been allowed to participate as full citizens. And even then, they're still trying to suppress our vote, right? And so they want us to believe that it doesn't matter. They also are trying to make us feel so doggone fatigued. Every time we see a Black body, that becomes a hashtag. Every time we see a Black child get their hair cut when they want to play wrestle, a Black child can't walk across the stage because their hair looks a certain way. You know what I'm saying? When we see our babies afraid and people, living on the street, when we see that, that impacts our belief in this country and in the systems that run it. And it makes us feel like our participation in it doesn't matter because we will always feel this way. We will always experience life that way. So that is voter suppression. And that is the most blatant act of voter suppression, the most impactful act of voter suppression, right? And so, when we talk about, how they prevent us from, actualizing our full space, that to me is like the most overt thing. We only have a couple of minutes. I know we're at time. DJ ready to go. So what I'm going to ask each of you is to talk directly to your people. Talk to the people that we do this thing, where we do our digital organizing, like, who are your people? Talk to your people, whoever you consider your people to be, right? The people that you love, that you represent. When you're in a room, they're like, these are my people. I want each of you to talk directly to your people and tell them why it's important for them to show up. Because this democracy will not work unless we all participate. I mean, that's just real. Right? And we've got to be able to pull our people because our people are hurting. Our people are scared. Our people are tired. Right? When I talk to Black women like, we've been shouldering this country forever. And they're tired. And they don't feel no change. Don't see no change. And I'm trying to convince them to do something like that ain't going to change nothing for me tomorrow. So I'm imploring each of you to talk to your people. Make your plea. Early voting starts in Louisiana tomorrow. We got 11 days to early vote. And for Black folks and Black women, that's the best time for us to show up. And we're going to show up. I got masks and t-shirts that say, I got time today. I got t-shirts that say, she shows up. Because we going to make the time. We got time. I got time to stand in this line. And I saw someone post that their son was asking them, why are we waiting in this line so long? And the response was, because I want to tell them that it's not okay for you to be afraid to walk outside your house. I want them to know that they can't just shoot you and get away with it. So that's why we're showing up for our babies. So I'm gonna go right up the line. Morgan, what's your plea?
My plea is, y'all, you're right. This system does not work for us. And it does not work for us because the people who are in the system are not there to help us. So if we want this system to work, we have to put the right people in those positions and we have to go at them every single day because they are representing us, not doing it for us. They have to represent us, and to represent us right, they have to know what we want and what we demand.
Yeah, I like it, Morgan. She got right to the point. Sam.
Oh, I can't do it as well as Morgan just did. That was it. I would say my plea is like, don't feel alone. Whatever, the coming days and weeks and months are bringing towards all of us, find a woman in your circle, in your life, and just reach out to someone to check in with them and with yourself. This is no time to feel like you're out there in the world alone. So my plea is for all of us to at least have one person so that we're not out here feeling isolated.
Tim, what you and Jackson got? You're on mute, Tim.
And I've been doing really good on this, like unmuting myself. So my plea is one of my favorite writers, Audre Lorde's quotes, is the master tools will never dismantle the master's house. We have to show innovation and show what we really exist of, what we're made of. And we are creative, allowing our creativity to actually mobilize our community, not utilizing the same plan, the same tools, and the same activities that have been a part of our oppression, but actually creating the innovation to actually liberalize our freedom.
I love it, Tim. Thank you for that. Nikki, what you got, my love?
So we stand on the shoulders of great heroes like Mary McLaughlin, Ella Baker, who all were just instrumental in fighting for voting rights for Black women. And so we are the heroes and the warriors that we need. And so we have to squat up and show up for us in record numbers. And so at such a time as this, not time to mollify our voices. It's not time for us to be fearful. We have to come with our fighting hands up. And so I'm asking you just not to be afraid and be encouraged. Go knock on the door of your next door neighbor and make certain that you also get them out to vote. Because sometimes we forget about those in our neighborhoods and our families who may not have transportation. So just be encouraged to make certain that you're reaching out the hands of love so we all can have our voices heard.
Yeah, thank you, Nikki. Taylor, our new babies that I'm celebrating, turning 18, able to vote. What you gonna tell them, Taylor? What you gonna tell them about showing up for the election?
Speaking to my people directly, I want them to be direct. I want them to be stubborn, and I want them to be united. Like, don't let anybody turn you away. Make voting cool, because it is. Making sure that you show up, because the politicians, they don't really look at us as far as showing up and showing out. So I think everybody should just be stubborn, be direct, and be united, because this is the perfect time to be.
I love it. Be stubborn. Yes.
I love that. Be stubborn. I love that, Taylor. That was awesome.
Love it. Tim, I love it. Jamie, my beautiful co-host. Like, I'm gonna let you close it on out, Jamie. What you gotta say?
Oh, 2 words. Down ballot. I think we need to not just focus on the 2 guys trying to get into the White House. Remember that there are people that are running for Senate. There are people that are running for city council, attorney generals, judges. These are people that are making decisions that impact our lives as well. So you've got to come out in record numbers to be able to vote on those folks that are trying to get seats, because those issues will impact you just as much, if not more, than the big federal issues that we see in front of our face and on the news every night with the 2 guys that are trying to get into the White House. So please come out in record numbers at the polls, because those down ballot issues are really, really important.
Thank you so much, Jamie. I appreciate that. Ladies, thank you so much for coming on, spilling the tea. Cheers. You. Incredible, incredible, incredible. I'm so grateful to Black women, because Black women say yes every single time, and y'all just beautiful spirits and voices. Tim keeps me sane when Morgan holds me down. Like, Nikki, like, we got a text-a-thon. Taylor, you are beautiful, and Sam, your love letter and your heart and your voice are so important. Jamie, I think it's time for us to go ahead and close it out and go to the DJ. Thank you, ladies. Me and Jamie are going to close it out, and then we're going to go to DJ. Stay tuned for the dance party that's coming up after this. Jamie, thank you so much for saying yes and being here and bringing your Black girl nerd, all that.
Thank you for having me. This is great. Oh my gosh, I love this discussion. It's amazing.
It was incredible hearing, like, I say, like, when you hear people you love, like, say things that you need for your heart, it's all good.
Yeah,
good.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we're going to bring up DJ. Never mind. DJ, what you got?
Yo. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I've been practicing. My 15 seconds.
Let's hear it.
I got it now. I got it.
Let's do it.
Come and talk to me. I really want me to.
Check this out. Thank y'all for coming in. And for y'all for coming out. Thank y'all for having me.
Thank you.
Oh, you look so sexy. You really turn me on.
Let's go. 15 seconds. Here we go.
Every time I see your face, girl.
Let's go. You got 15 seconds to get your dance move in.
I love it. I tell y'all, having production team is like gold. Y'all, thank you so much to 4910 Rosalie Productions and their amazing creative director, Damian D. Smith. He is always in the background.
40 people. That's right.
Every time.
It's about that time.
Yeah, what you know about going out? Head west, red legs, TVs, all up in the headrest. Try and live it up, ride jewel, bigger truck, beats all glittered up. Stickle kid,
Need more drinks. Glass empty.
I'm ready.
I know that.
Snoop Dogg. You know what happened with this? Yeah. You know who's back up in this?
Shout out to the West Coast. You know, practice makes perfect.
Top dog, light 'em up. Yeah, we cooking back up. And when they bang this in the club, baby, you got to get up. Love start to the right. Yeah, they giving it up. Low life, yo life, boy, we living it up.
I heard y'all were having some drinks during the panel discussion. Turned up over there. Sipping on gin and juice.
Also, I got some Sissy glasses coming your way soon. So.
With so much drama in the LBC, it's kind of hard being Snoop D, go double G.
All right,
Hey.
2 more minutes, never mind. 2 more minutes and then we're going to shut the party down.
All right, you got it. Make sure you go out to the polls, everybody.
Yes.
Yes.
Early voting in Louisiana ends on the 27th. We got 11 days to show up.
And get fresh and clean while you're at the polls too. Look good while you vote. Look good while you vote, you know?
Come on. They got like, Jamie, I want you so cute. I want you to get that girl with glasses.
Hey, Ashanti just had a birthday. Black don't crack. Good. Ashanti, are you registered? If you're watching, make sure you register. You got early vote too right now. I'm going to vote
Early
tomorrow.
vote. That's what we do. Early votes. Early
I wish I was like old enough to actually party in the 90s, man. Oh my gosh.
You can party in the night.
I was born in 94. I was a baby.
You're a baby. You are a baby. All right, you can still party.
90s was lit.
Really That's right. That's clearly. Never mind.
Yes, ma'am.
I love you. I'm making her the official Citizen Shoe DJ. You know what I'm saying? We get to do live parties. Make sure never mind.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? Live parties. You can do a full song.
Hey, man. No, we're not going to do a full song, but we're going to do more than 15 seconds.
There we go. There we go. Jamie, thank you so much for you co-hosting with me. Never mind. Thank you for bringing us the music. Thank y'all so much. Once again, thank you 4910 Rosalie Productions for all the love and support, y'all. Let me tell y'all, when I come to them and I say this is a crazy idea in my head, the answer every time is let's make it happen. And they put in the time, effort, and energy to make sure all this Black Girl magic happens and comes to the screen. So I'm just grateful, appreciate friendship, appreciate people. Like we go show up and show out. And so thank y'all so much for tuning in.
Thank you. Go vote, guys.
Make sure you go vote.